We got on the phone Renee Evans. She is the National Affirmative Action Coordinator for D7, Local 933, American Federation of Government Employees. Renee, what's happening?
Hi, how are you, Dennis?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm a little under the weather, but that's okay. The fight still has to be. So thank you for allowing me to call in to tell you what's happening with AFGE at this particular time.
Hey, we got to strike while the iron is hot. We cannot let this. We cannot let this go. So what's going on? Oh, hey, no problem, no problem. You're gonna see some pictures up soon enough. But hey, tell us what's going on with you. What's happening? Tell your story.
Okay, what's happening right now? AFGE, which is the American Federation of Government Employees, we represent, oh goodness, over 20,000 members nationwide. That includes TSA, Border Patrol, Social Security, VA, just to name a Department of Defense, just to name a few. But on my end, they are trying to propose Robert Wilkie, who was the Veterans Affairs Secretary.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to, and we're in contract negotiations right now.
Okay.
And they don't want to play fair ball. They're trying to play really hard ball. We have 66 articles in our contract. They're trying to rip us off of 44. Now, that's ridiculous. That is totally union busting. And if this happened, they would strip 250,000 employees that are employed within the Department of Veterans Affairs of many of their rights for protection that they won through collective bargaining. That's what our family and our fathers and mothers and cousins have always fought for in the labor movement. Mm-hmm. They will strip us of all those rights, pretty much. And it's clearly that this is an attempt for the VA to pave a way to privatize for the VA. It's clearly it's obvious.
Okay, so you got when did the contract? When did you start negotiations?
Contract negotiations started Memorial Day, and they're in negotiation right now. I mean, this is just, let me tell you how dirty these guys are. You're supposed to have equal yoke when you come to the table, the bargaining table.
Right.
They're trying to limit us to 4. They're trying to tell us we can't have any observers, but they can. They're trying to control the rules of it. That's why when I had the rally, the purpose of my rally, I call it a silent rally. Some of my members had red tape over their mouths.
Right, I did see that.
That was it was symbolic of them trying to silence us because they didn't want AFGE to even talk about what was going on with the contract negotiations. So that was the best way that I can do it. On that day, June 5th, we did a national rally throughout the whole country at all the VAs, and every Wednesday we wear red for feds.
All right.
All VA members are supposed to wear red for feds on Wednesday. That's just to let the word know that this is what you guys do, to bring awareness to how important this is. So that particular day, we all wore red and had red tape over our mouths to show that they're trying to silence us. So that's where we are at this particular point right now. And, I mean, there's so much going on with this. It's heartbreaking. It's just really heartbreaking.
So you got the nurses down at the VA hospital in Detroit, correct? That's one of your groups. Okay. Can you go into...
doctors, everyone.
Okay. So
I'm a nurse. I'm a registered nurse.
Okay. So can you go into how important your job is? I mean, because when you was on our show before, you really... explained to us that you really cared about the vets. So let's kind of hit it. Let's hit it on that level. You know, what's going to happen if they was to outsource this stuff? They would lose people that actually care about the work that they're doing, right?
Well, basically, attack on the VA workers is attack on the veterans, as most of us know, because 1/3 of the employees that work at the VA are vets themselves.
Okay, that's what I wanted to hear. That's what I need people to hear. 1/3 are
vets themselves that work there. So they're attacking the very people that they so-called are trying to help. They're not helping them. Most of the vets do not even want to go in the private sector. Well, a lot of people don't even know. They go to these private areas, the little hospitals, the little doctors, and I do agree. Now, don't get me wrong, James. There are some people who need to go out in the private sector because we don't offer those services. That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
There are people who live in rural areas that can't get, the closest VA might be Saginaw, and they live up north and all they got is C-box. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about vets who live within 20 to 30 miles. I think they done changed it now, 40 miles within the hospital, and say, oh, you can go to private sector if you want. Okay, but what they're not telling these people, you will get a bill, honey.
Wow.
You will get a bill. We done had, so when they didn't change, this is just a mini faces. The name before was the Choice Program. Then they changed it to VA Choice. Now they're changing it to VA Mission Act. It's just a changing of the title, but the game is still the same.
Hey, Renee, this is Charles. Could I ask you a question?
Sure.
In regards to why this is happening, because we're having difficulty getting a contract. I know there's other people that are having difficulties getting contracts. We feel like a lot of it has to do with the judges that are currently being appointed and their anti-labor stances. The National Labor Relations Board really isn't there anymore to enforce labor law as much as they're
right.
They're enabling.
Social Security just almost got totally dismantled. They slowly whittled down, and they went to their contracts. They went before the judge. They went before the impasse. They had a contract, and then they went to court. They went before the impasse panel, and the impasse panel said no. Well, we pretty much agree with everything. And Social Security has lost official time. They have lost space. They have lost anything that it takes to do union. You can represent, but how are you going to represent is the question when we're not giving you anything. So, yeah, it's happening everywhere. So if Social Security gets away, I mean, which it already has happened, these judges have said, we're not going to agree with this, so you guys, you just lose. That's where we are, too, with the VA Accountability Act. I do agree that we have to be accountable for the actions that we have. They started out with that VA Accountability Act from something that happened in Phoenix, where they were pushing people's appointments underneath the table. Instead of addressing Phoenix, they turned around and said, oh, I told you they need to go in the private sector, so we're going to make a VA accountability, and everybody's going to be accountable. Which, okay, I agree. But when they made this VA Accountability Act up, what they call omnibus, everything that they tried to get in before, one that was just attached on. When the Congress people read the VA accountability, of course you're going to say, I'm not going to never vote that the VA, that the vets are not supposed to be taken care of right. Of course you're supposed to be accountable, but they didn't read the whole damn thing. Now there's a Title 38 portion in there. I can't even represent members anymore who are Title 38. That includes nurses, that includes doctors. I can't represent anybody unless it's on my own vacation time or lunch. Now, you've taken away my right.
Wait a minute. So you're saying that if something happens at work, you have to wait till you either take a vacation time or after work to deal with it?
That's correct. When you saw me rallying, that was 2 hours of vacation time.
Wow. That is crazy.
But you're not supposed to rally anyway on official time. That's
right. No, you're not. But here's the thing. Here's where I want to get back at.
That's not even the issue on that part. But
right.
I have so many people I represent.
So here's what I want to get back at. It's the fact that you guys, you ladies and gentlemen, care about the people you're taking care of.
Absolutely.
And that's, I mean, seriously. So here's the thing. A veteran is somebody that goes in one of the armed services and serves his or her country, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we should have a lot of respect for them. In fact, if afterwards they having some issues, woes, and grievances, and they have to go to the VA hospital, they should get the best care in the world because what? They took care of us. They're standing up for our freedoms, right?
Correct.
So if that's the case, why do we want to give them substandard medical care? Why do we want to give them people that... No, not you, not your group. I'm talking about if we outsource that or we, privatize that, we're bringing in people that don't care about them, right?
Well, they're going to be going to facilities that don't care about them. You're absolutely right. Yeah. They don't see them as a whole. We see them as a whole.
Right.
We see when we treat them. I treat a diabetic patient. I know it's not just you got an ulcer on your foot. Okay, what caused that ulcer? So we're going to check and see if you're a diabetic. We're going to check and see what your levels are. Okay, I'm going to give you some diabetic shoes. I'm going to give you some diabetic socks. I might even do a referral to someone else because this is what your needs are. They're not going to do that in the private sector. They see you as a piece. They see you as a check. That vet is not going to get the care he's rightfully deserved. And I'm here to tell you, vets are coming back saying, no, I don't want to be outside. I want to be inside. I want to be at the VA because you guys know what my needs are.
So what do we need?
Again, one third of the people who work there are vets themselves. That includes doctors and nurses.
So what do we need to do to stand behind you so we can make sure that
call your congressman, call your congressman,
tell them what?
Do not want to privatize. Call your congressman, tell them to don't support that the Wilkes Act for our contract. We want a fair contract. Okay, we can give and take, no problem with that. But I want it to be done fairly, because we are representing these people who are there at the VA, who works there. These vets come back. You know, we have to hire them. They get first priority to be hired. When they come back from the military, they need a job. They apply. They're the first ones to get hired there.
That's good.
So what are you telling me? You're the first ones to get fired too, because they're trying to change your probation period. What happens in your probation? Where's your union representation? If I know that this vet came back and he has some kind of health problem that caused him that, I'm not saying that we're supposed to hire persons with who act out and who are violent. I'm not saying that, but we recognize the fact that they have an issue and it needs to be addressed. So, okay, I might see I got a problem, but then I would talk to the supervisor. Look, we need to see about getting help, because there we can recommend help for these patients. I mean, these employees who are patients too.
So we should. Everybody should call their congressperson.
Call your congressperson
and say, vote down the Wiki Act.
Well, let them know that they don't agree with what Robert Wilkie is doing to the federal workers. We had Jan Zukowski, who is a congresswoman out of Chicago. She had 120 congresspersons sign on to a letter letting them know that they support American Federation employees. So we need their support. Let them know you're supporting us.
So how do we?
There's nothing too much we can do about the Mission Act, because I'm not saying that the vets don't need to go out, but they don't need to privatize.
So what
don't make this a way to whittle.
Right.
If you want to give them the opportunity to go to the private sector, that's fine. But don't slowly do this, and then you look up, you carving at a tree, and when you think ain't nobody looking, it turns into a pencil because we never paid no attention. Because they done whittled it away.
So do you have a letter that we can sign, or a website that we can go on and, let's get this ball rolling?
I will check my national vice president, which is Dorothy James.
Okay.
For District 7, and I will see as she does, and I will get back in touch with you, James. And if there is a letter that we can get people to sign, then I will let you know and we can put it out there.
Yeah, because we need to band together on this one. Now, what about the next rally?
I will have a rally next month.
You got it next month?
I'm trying to do this once a month, but every week we try to get it out to our employees. We give them information on what's happening so they can know. We got this 49. There's still, I'm so passionate about this. Yeah. There are 49,000 vacancies still that they're not filling within the VA. So if they're not filling these vacancies, that means that they have to send the people out because there's nobody there to do the care. Fill those vacancies, and then we can take care of the rest.
How many vacancies?
That's their way to say, see, I told you they can't help. I mean,
whoa. How many vacancies?
49,000.
So that means that people are overworked then.
Nationwide.
That means that people are overworked as well, correct?
Pretty much, and they're retiring. People are constantly. We started out with 49,000 vacancies. The last time it was an alarming increase of 4,000 vacancies since August of last year. So that number has changed to 53. That means that there's a crucial positions that we need to serve to serve our vets to be filled. We got people retiring too now, so they're not filling those positions.
Okay, so let me ask you this: what is the top 3 things that's the sticking point at your bargaining table?
Well, I'm not exactly sure because I'm not there.
Well, what do you think?
They don't want to take the rights away of the people. Now, exactly what their top key things they're seeing, I don't want to quote someone or say something wrong. Okay. But I know that it's taking away our rights.
Okay, so taking away rights?
To be able to, that's another thing, too. I'm sorry. They wanted to make it, they want to take away our rights to negotiate. Say if we got a grievance, they want to take that away and make it national way. You can't do it through a local. If you got a grievance, it has to go national. It has to be filed through the national.
So it's just union bus. I mean, what we're talking about here is just union busting.
Basically. Absolutely.
Basically.
That's one of the things. So that's the key. Our right to negotiate, our right to grieve.
Our rights to collectively bargain with the corporation.
But that's correct. That's it.
As an entity, as a union. essentially.
That's right.
Everyone talks about being for the veterans. Everyone supports the troops. When it comes down to actually walking the walk, there are certain people that aren't doing it. Have you have other representatives out there who you've reached out to, who have spoken on your behalf, that we can give kudos to, and then people that you have reached out to and have not been supportive that we can demand better from?
You said, is there people that we can reach out to?
Or have reached out to?
Right, that we can give accolades to?
We constantly keep reaching out to our congressional leaders. Those are the ones that's sitting on that floor when these proposals come through and vote on it. So those they're the key ones that we have. We got the House right now, so that helps.
Okay,
A lot of them, surprisingly, we met with the House as well as the Senate. We went to an event recently with Debbie Stabenow, and she had no clue, which is one of our state senators, had no clue that this was going on.
Whoa, wait a minute.
She had no clue. You heard me right. So we have to let them know. We have to educate. And I tell people, meet with the staffers. You ain't necessarily got to meet the congressional leaders.
Yes.
Meet, because they're busy. Meet with their staffers so they can know the importance and they can let them know what's happening.
Yes, and the squeaky wheel gets the grease on this thing. We have to be vocal in this because there's a lot of money that's being spent by these corporations, by these entities to try to suppress what you're doing. And we need to be louder than them. They have the money, we have the people, and the people are the ones that are supposed to.
The Koch brothers, number one.
Exactly.
Koch brothers have been trying to privatize for over 10 years.
But you know what? Here's the thing, though, Renee. Here's what I would like to see us do. Who's your representative at the AFL, the Metro AFL? Is it you?
Talking about Bieber?
No. He's the state. What about the Metro? You know, with Daryl Newman.
It is
Daryl Newman is the president. But who represents your group at the table, at the executive board or the delegate body?
I would believe it would be Daryl Newman.
No. He's the president of the.
Are you talking about our president?
Well, I have somebody at the table. So when we sit down, we talk about what's going on with the workers. And we usually go around the table and we lay our complaints on the table, and then we band behind each other and trying to get them. So
you're talking about your meetings that you guys have on Tuesday?
Yes, that meeting.
That would be Ben Mahan, our president.
Okay, so you know what? Definitely have him get in touch with me because we need to get a plan together so that we can get behind you. Because here's the thing. Me and Charles represent AT&T. I've talked to the trades. When we talk about vets, we all get a little bit heated when it comes to vets.
Right.
We really do. Okay, there we go. There you go. My father's a vet. Yeah, so we get heated. So the thing is, I think what's needed here is a defined plan. Because we need to be getting the information to, the Debbie Dingles, because we have a relationship with her. So we've talked to her about our stuff. She knows all about ours. I can't sit here and say she don't know. So my issue now is I don't think there's a plan to get it to where it needs to be. You follow me? So I think we need to get a plan.
I agree.
So, and here's the thing. I have no problem sitting down helping you guys do something. Me and Charles both. We'll get together and, hey, let's do this. We got podcasts is going through. I already told you about my podcast. Charles got American Workers First, the website. We need to get that out to the public. We got to get ready to go to a break. Renee, thank you for all that you have done.
Thank you.
Don't go anywhere else, everybody. We'll be right back with more Union Members Radio.